Hi, I'm Tanya D, founder of Y'all Light, and I'm a registered dietitian. And you know, since we live in a body and we have a soul and we are a spirit, it's important to feed all three parts in order to feel whole and complete. This month's theme is belonging and balance. There's a part of our brain that is wired to crave social interaction. It's the same part of our brain that's wired to crave food. So just like when we're on a diet and we're not getting enough food, maybe enough food that we like, this part of our brain lights up and we have cravings for that food. Same thing happens if we don't have enough social interaction. There's a part of our brain that will light up, become activated, and it craves social interaction. So we're actually wired to belong, to be in a group of people. But we also need time to be alone so that we can explore our personal truth and find a path to authenticity. So the balance comes from how can we belong and how can we also be alone? How can we find that balance? And here's my tips for feeding body, soul, and spirit for this month. Did you know that the number of people getting or experiencing anxiety and depression has gone way up? And this isn't surprising because I think anxiety and depression go hand in hand. And what's interesting is anxiety needs rest. Anxiety is a energetic, go, 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 solve a problem. And the antithesis or the opposite of that is rest. So anxiety needs rest and depression needs movement. So depression, if you just stay still and stay with that heavy feeling of depression and you don't move your body and get those happy chemicals flowing, you can get stuck in depression. So for the body, the goal is to find the balance between rest and movement. So this month, make sure to get, if you're feeling a little on the depressed side, get more movement. If you're feeling a little bit on the anxious side, make sure to get your rest. But in general, find a way to balance the both, so that you go for a walk and then you come home and you sit for a while, or you stick on that YouTube channel and you find an exercise program that really speaks to you, and then you rest afterwards, or you find something like yoga that has rest and movement in the same exercise. So the soul, let's go on to feeding the soul. Not only do we want to feed our soul space and time this month, just a lot of space, a lot of time to figure things out, we need to give other people's souls their space and their time to figure their stuff out. So remember, the soul includes our mind, our emotions, and our will. And one of the purposes of the mind is to solve problems. And if we perceive that there's a whole lot of problems out there, then our mind begins overthinking, trying to solve all of these problems. Now, what comes next, what this can lead to, is this will drip from the mind into another part of our soul, our emotions, and what happens after overthinking can oftentimes come over feeling, because our thoughts can create feelings. Just like Albert Einstein said, energy follows thought. So our thoughts are creative. There's an energetic quality about them, and often our thoughts will lead to some sort of feeling. So if we're overthinking, chances are we'll be overfeeling, and this situation doesn't feel very good in our soul. Now, we can go down into our will, and this is where we have some power. That's why it's called willpower. We need to direct that power towards more wisdom, and we give ourselves space and time to seek the wisdom, to seek which problems are really problems, which problems are our problems, which problems are other people's problems. We give ourselves space and time to sit in our heart where wisdom is found, and we can then stop overthinking, which will cause us to not overfeel, which feels a little bit more like rest, and it will also create a situation where there's not as much reaction, there's not as much impulse, because that energy follows thought can lead all the way down to a reaction that we really weren't wanting to do. So feed your soul and feed other people around you just some space and time to figure things out from this last year. Now, we can get stuck right here, overthinking and overfeeling and reacting, if we're not giving ourselves the space and time and wisdom, and the soul can kind of feel separate. So one of the ways we can bring the soul into feeling a little bit more balanced is the way we turn to the spirit and begin to feed the spirit. We can feed the spirit the understanding that we are spirit and God is spirit, and we are connected to God's spirit. So we have a family that we belong to, and it's God's family. We are all a part of God's family because we are all spirit and God is spirit. But not only intellectually can we think along those lines, but we go deeper and we really experience this in our heart. We just experience in this space and time, try to experience belonging to God's Spirit who's dwelling inside your heart, and you'll begin to realize we're part of a larger tribe. We're part of the human race, and we can just know then that our whole being is in belonging all the time. We're always a part of God's family. And when we know that, we're less likely to feel that socially distanced from other people, because we feel that connection to God and we feel that connection to all of humanity. So this is a nice practice this month. If you can do this, give your soul the space and time to experience that union that you have with your spirit and with God's spirit, and experience this feeling as a feeling like I'm home. I'm home. Whether I'm alone or whether I'm with a group of people, I'm home. I'm connected. I'm connected to God's Spirit. I'm a child of God, and we are connected. So anyway, in summary, you try to feed your body a balance of rest and movement this month. Try to feed your soul some space and time to figure things out. What's a problem? What's not a problem? And let other people figure out that for themselves so that they have their unique path to be following. And then finally, I invite you to believe that you belong. You belong already to God's family, and you will find the balance that you need this year. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I'm Tanya, and so go in grace and go with grace. Have a great month.